enjoyed that. And I'll send you guys a link if you're interested to our birds and yoga tours that we're doing in partnership with Birding the Islands. Again, Alex and Ryan are both in Barbados, and we have this wonderful relationship and partnership with them. They're really awesome. So I'm going to sign off now and just say, everybody enjoy the class. And Alex, take it away.
Okie dokes, everybody. Hi. Thanks for joining us. A couple more people joined in since I introduced myself. So I'm Alex. I'm the founder of Spinning Arrow Yoga. Really excited to be here partnering with BirdsCaribbean for these range of classes, this series of classes. Today, as Ryan said, we're going to work towards Heron Pose. So birds in yoga, it all comes from Hindu mythology, and the importance of birds in Hindu mythology as carriers of the gods. So they bring the gods down to earth. They carry messages from the gods to us. So that's why we have lots of bird poses in yoga. So without further ado, we're going to get into it. So if you haven't already, maybe grab a glass of water and your mat or a towel or just something to do your practice on, and I'll see you on the mat. Okay, so we're going to start today's practice just sitting down in a comfortable seat. So if you're comfortable with your legs crossed, I invite you to come there now. If you prefer to have your legs straight out in front of you or even in a kneeling position, just find a comfortable seat for you. Somewhere where you can feel yourself rooting down into the ground, the floor beneath you, and then growing up through the spine. So feel that energy moving up through the spine, all the way to the crown of the head. And just imagine a little string just attached to the crown of your head. Just somebody's gently pulling on that string, encouraging your spine to lengthen as you ground down into the earth. Lovely. A little bit of a tuck of that chin. Just allow you there to have a nice long neck. Lots of space between the ears and the shoulders. And we're going to inhale, roll the shoulders up to the ears. And as you exhale, sigh out through the mouth and roll those shoulders down the spine. Again, roll the shoulders up to the ears. And roll the shoulders down, exhaling through the mouth. One more time, roll the shoulders up to the ears. And exhale, roll those shoulders down the spine. So feel like those shoulders are relaxing down. Just bringing our heads into practice. You can rest your palms facing up on your thighs, and just bring your observation and your awareness to your breath. Just notice the breath as it moves in through the nose and out through the nose. Feel the breath beginning to fill all the spaces in the lungs. Maybe placing your hands on the bottom of your rib cage and sending that inhale into the ribs and the lungs under your hands. Really expanding, feeling the lungs expand side to side, back to front. Filling your body with life force energy, with prana that we take in as we breathe. And then bringing one hand just down, just below the navel to the lower belly. Inhale, expanding into that rib cage, into those lungs. And as you exhale, gently feel the activation of those core muscles underneath that lower hand. Inhale to expand into the chest. Exhale, gently drawing those core muscles. One more time, inhale. And exhale to draw in the lower belly. Lovely, and then when you're ready, just placing your hands back down on your thighs. So that breath is our chest to abdomen breath. And we draw in that lower belly just to protect the spine as we move through our poses today. So that's the breath we're going to use. Expand into the chest on the inhale, draw in that lower belly on the exhale. So inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, draw in the lower belly, reach up and over to the right. Inhale, coming back up to center. Exhaling up and over to the left, just warming up the spine here. Inhaling, arms up overhead. Exhale, reaching up and over. Really breathe now into that left side body. Feel that space. Exhale to draw in the lower belly. Inhale to bring the arms back up to center. Exhale, reaching up and over to the left. Allow that left shoulder to relax, that right shoulder to relax down away from the ears. Breathe into that right side body. And exhale to draw in the lower belly. Inhale to come back up. This time, bring the left hand to the right knee. Right hand comes behind you into a gentle twist on your exhale. Inhale back to center, arms overhead. Exhale, bring that right hand to left knee, left hand out behind us, gently twisting from the upper back there. Inhale back to center. One more time, we'll twist to the right. Make sure we're twisting from above the navel. Try not to shove the head round, just let that head be in line with the spine. And inhale back to center. And exhale, gently twisting to the left. Inhaling back to center. This time, exhale, lead with the heart and bring that heart forwards towards the floor. The hands can rest on the floor. Try not to lift the bottom off the floor. Keep that sense of grounding through the lower body. Take an inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. And as we exhale now, allow the body to just come towards the floor. The head relaxed, the shoulders relaxed. And breathe into the back of the body. And exhale to draw in the lower belly and inhale, reaching through the crown of the head to come all the way back up to seated. We'll just change the cross of the legs. Again, inhale, arms up overhead. And as we exhale, bring the hands down in front of us, leading with the heart back into our forward fold. Really keep that length through the spine. Feel that energy moving up and out through the crown of the head. Maybe feeling into the hips here. On your next exhale, just allow the upper body to relax down. Inhale here, sending that breath into the back of the body. Exhale to draw in the lower belly. And inhale, pushing into the hands, reaching through the crown of the head to sit all the way back up again. Lovely, we're going to come onto hands and knees now. So make your way gently there. With the hands underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips. Just going to work through a few cat and cows, so spreading the fingers nice and wide. On your inhale, draw the shoulder blades together as if they're trying to kiss the spine. And as you exhale, push into the floor and arch through that upper back, drawing in that lower belly. Inhale, coming through a nice neutral spine to draw those shoulder blades together. And as you exhale, pushing into the floor, arching through that upper back, drawing in that lower belly. Again, inhale, drawing those shoulder blades together. And exhale, arching into that upper back. And then on your next inhale, just coming to a nice natural neutral position with the back. Reaching through the crown of the head with the gaze just in front of the fingertips. On an inhale, we're just going to circle, bringing the weight forward and round towards the left hand then towards the right hand, and then sending those hips back on an exhale. Inhale, bringing the weight forward, just bringing some movement into the hips. Exhale, sending those hips back a little bit. Inhale, bringing that weight forward. And exhale, sending those hips back. And when you reach the back here, we change direction. Inhale, forward. And exhale, back. And just bring any movements into the body here that feel good. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. Maybe feeling into the hips, any tight spaces in the hips. One more this way. Inhale, coming back to a nice neutral spine. And as you exhale, send those hips all the way back now into child's pose. So if you're not quite there, if your hips don't come to your heels, just walk those hands forward a little bit and bring that heart down to the floor. So you're more in this kind of position. If you're comfortable and your hips are nice and supported by your legs there, just allow the forehead to come to the floor. And here we're just going to breathe for a couple of breaths, sending that breath into the back of the body, feeling the skin on the back of the body expand with your inhale. And as you exhale, gently draw in the lower belly, keeping that chest to abdomen breath going. One more breath here. And as you inhale, reach the fingertips forward a little bit, spread the fingers wide, coming up to all fours. And as we exhale, send those hips up and back, coming into our first down dog of the day. Walking those feet out a little bit, just stretching into the hamstrings, beginning to wake up the back of the legs there. On your next inhale, coming back down to all fours and sending those hips back to child's pose. Again, inhale, spread the fingers wide, coming up to all fours. Exhale, tuck the toes, lifting those hips up and back. Maybe walking out that down dog again. Maybe you're here in stillness. On your next inhale, coming back to all fours. And exhale to send those hips back towards the heels. Again, inhale, coming up to all fours. Exhale, tucking those toes, lifting those hips. We're going to be here just for 3 breaths. So find your way into a nice, comfortable down dog. Maybe your knees are slightly bent. Maybe they're quite generously bent. Really emphasizing that length in the spine. So feel like you're being drawn up from your hips, diagonally back away from the arms. Allow those shoulders to release down away from the ears. It's actually up towards the sky, but technically down. And then just breathe here. Feel that breath in the back of the body. And on your next inhale, coming back to all fours and sending those hips back to child's pose. Just giving the arms a little bit of a break. Bring those hands down to the heels and just relax down with the forehead to the floor. Nice inhale here, sending the breath into the back of the body. Exhale to draw in the lower belly, reaching the hands forward again. Inhale to come back up to all fours. Exhale to tuck the toes, lifting the hips up and back, down dog. And on an inhale, just bring that right foot through between the hands. So if you need to just encourage that foot forward with your hand, feel free to do that. You want about a 90-degree angle with that front leg. And drop that back knee to the floor. On an inhale, bring the arms up overhead, low lunge. then exhale, bring the hands down to the floor as we send our hips backwards, just working into those hamstrings. Inhale, bring the weight forward, rolling into that front foot, allowing the hip to come towards the floor. Exhale to send those hips backwards. Inhale forwards, feeling into the front of that left leg, that left hip. Exhale, send the hips backwards. This time stay here, just allow the toes to peel up off the floor, the foot flex, feeling that stretch down the back of the hamstring. Encourage that right hip back, so you're creating a little bit more space there. If you can't get your hands to the floor here, just bring the hands onto the leg, or one hand onto the leg. And on your next inhale, roll through the foot, bringing that weight back forwards. And then tucking the toe, lifting that back knee, and we'll bring that front foot to meet the back all the way back in down dog. So just notice the difference there between the two legs now. Might feel very wonky. When you're ready, on your next inhale, just bring that left knee towards the chest and placing that foot, maybe just encouraging it a little bit further forwards with the hands, so you've got that 90-degree angle there. Dropping that back knee down to the floor. And on an inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Shoulders down away from the ears, low lunge. Inhale here. And as you exhale, fold the body forward, send those hips back, and bring the hands down to the floor, or one hand to chin, one hand to floor. Inhale, bring that weight forward. Encourage that right hip towards the floor. Exhale, send the hips backwards. Inhale, bring that weight forward. These are really good prep pose for our Heron Pose later on. Just stretching into these hamstrings and the hips. We're going to stay here, encouraging that left hip back, feeling that stretch through the hamstrings, maybe lifting those toes, flexing the foot. And on your next inhale, roll through the foot, placing the hands on the floor, lifting that back knee, and on your exhale, bringing that left foot back now into down dog. So maybe feeling like there's a little bit more space in the back of the legs there, a little bit more space maybe in the hips too. On an inhale, generously bend the knees, look forward and walk those feet up towards the hands. You can pop the hands off the floor, absolutely fine. Coming to halfway lift, and exhale, bend those knees, allow the torso to rest on the thighs. So your feet want to be about hip distance apart, which is about 2 fist widths apart. So you can put those fists between your toes. It's a good place to be there. Spread those toes wide. As we inhale, pushing, trying to rip the mat apart almost, as we come all the way up to standing, arms overhead. Hands meet in the middle and come down to heart center on an exhale. We're just going to move through a couple of sun salutations. So inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips, drawing in that lower belly, folding the body towards the thighs. Inhale, halfway lift, maybe hands to shins here. Shoulders down away from the ears. Exhale, place the hands on the floor. Step the right foot back, then the left foot back. We're in a nice plank here. If it's too much, dropping the knees to the floor. If it's in your practice, you can do a full chaturanga. If it's not, on your next exhale, tuck those elbows in and lower the chest down to the floor. Keeping those elbows tucked. Peel the chest up off the floor now. Draw those shoulders away from the ears into a nice gentle cobra. Exhale, pushing into the hands, through hands and knees, lifting those hips, tucking those toes, sending yourself back to down dog. Inhale, generously bend the knees, looking between the hands, walking up to meet the hands with your feet hip distance apart. Exhale to fold forwards. Inhale, ripping that mat apart, really feeling that strength in the legs as we come to stand. And bring the hands to heart center on an exhale. Inhale, we'll go again, arms up overhead. Exhale, folding forward, hinging from the hips, drawing in that lower belly. Inhale, halfway lift, maybe hands are to the floor now. Exhale, place those hands, stepping back with the left foot this time, and then the right foot into a plank or knees to floor. If you're going to do your chaturanga, shift that weight forward, tuck those elbows in, lower the chest down to the body down to the floor. Your hands and knees, lower that chest down to the floor. Keeping those elbows tucked, roll the shoulders down away from the ears, peel the chest up off the floor and inhale. Exhale, sending those hips up and back to our down dog. On your next inhale, looking between the hands, bending the knees, walking those feet up to meet the hands. Folding forward on your exhale, and on an inhale, as if you're ripping that mat apart, sending yourself all the way up to standing. On your exhale, bringing that hands to heart center. We do a couple of standing poses now. So, your Tadasana. I'll just show you. Your feet hip distance apart, toes spread nice and wide, drawing up through the front of the body as we root down through the back of the body. Shoulders down away from the ears. The chest is broad, proud. We're going to inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, bringing the hands to heart center, shifting the weight onto the right foot, picking up that left foot, and stepping back a comfortably wide distance behind you. Encourage those hips towards the front of the mat, but don't shove them round. That back foot wants to be about 45 degrees, about a 45 degree angle. As we inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, bend into that front knee, warrior one. If you feel like you're bending backwards, just anchor those ribs down a little bit. Feel that length through the back of the body. Take an inhale, straighten through that front leg. And as you exhale, hinging at the hips, coming forward into pyramid pose, halfway. If it's too much for the arms there, bring them down to the hips. Exhale to draw in that lower belly, protect the spine as we push into both feet to reach all the way back up to standing. On an inhale. Exhale, sinking down into that front knee, warrior one. Inhale, straightening that front leg. Exhale, drawing the lower belly, hinge at the hips. Remember, you can bring the hands to the hips if it's too much to have them in line with the ears. Strong and long through that spine. Breathe. On your exhale, draw in that lower belly. And inhale to reach through the crown of the head as we stand all the way back up. Arms up overhead. One more time. Exhaling, sinking into that warrior. Remember those ribs. Try to anchor those ribs down if you feel like they're flaring. Really feel that energy down through the back of that left leg, that back foot. Making sure that front knee is tracking the middle toes. You only have one middle toe, middle toe. Exhale. On your next inhale, straighten that front leg. Exhale, hinging from the hips, folding that body forward. This time, keep going. Maybe bringing the hands to the shins, maybe to the thighs, maybe down to the floor. Wherever you are, keep a little micro bend in that front knee. Take that right hand, put it on the right hip, that front hip, and just encourage that hip to draw backwards. So you create even a little bit more space there in that back of the front leg. Take an inhale, lengthen through the spine. And as you exhale, just gently allow the upper body to relax, keeping strong through that back leg. So both legs are active here. Exhale, draw in the lower belly. Bringing the hands to the hips. Inhale to lengthen through the spine, reaching through the crown of the head, pushing down through both feet to come all the way back up. Okay. From here, maybe scooch that back foot in a little bit. We're going to come into a balance. So spread the toes of that right foot wide. Lift up through that right leg. Nice and strong and active through that right leg. As you inhale, maybe just lift that foot up off the floor behind you, that back foot. Maybe tilt the body forwards, hinging from the hips, trying to keep those hips level. Point that back toe down as you flex the foot. Warrior 3. If you feel to extend the arms in front of you, go for that. I have a door in my way, so I can't do that. And just breathe here. Focus on softly on a spot, just directly below your eye line. One more breath, balancing. And then on an exhale, step that left foot back. Extend that front leg. And then bring that back foot to meet the front foot. And maybe just shake out that right leg. Had a lot of work there on that right leg. Okay. When you're ready, come back to Tadasana. Our mountain pose, our strong neutral stance. Inhale, arms up overhead. As you exhale, shift that weight onto the left foot, stepping comfortably wide back with that right foot. Inhale, arms up overhead. And as you exhale, sink into that left knee. Remember those ribs. Feel that energy down the back of that right leg now. Inhale, straightening that front leg. And exhale, hinging from the hips, bringing that heart down, halfway. Draw that belly in. Inhale, reaching through the crown of the head, pushing down through both feet to stand all the way back up. Exhale, sink into that front knee, warrior 1. Breathe here. On your next inhale, pushing through that front heel to straighten that front leg. And on an exhale, draw that belly in as you hinge from the hips, reaching through the crown of the head, halfway lift. Inhale, pushing through both feet, reaching through the crown of the head to come all the way back up to standing. And exhale, sink into that front knee, warrior 1. Feel that energy down the back of that right leg. Make sure that left knee is tracking the middle toe there. The shoulders are relaxed down away from the ears. Sending that breath into the ribs on the inhale. And drawing in that lower belly on the exhale. Inhale, straighten through that front leg. And exhale, hinge at the hips. Bringing that heart down. Keep it going. Maybe hands to the thighs, to the shins, or to the floor. Take that left hand just into the left hip crease. Encourage that left hip back, a little bit more space to allow that upper body to relax down towards the thigh. Keep that little micro bend in that front knee, protecting that knee joint. And allow the upper body to be heavy and relaxed.
On your next exhale, join that lower belly, bring the hands to the hips. Inhale to reach through the crown of the head, pushing down through both feet. Strong, powerful as we come back up to standing. Scooch that back foot in a little bit. Spreading those toes of the front foot wide. Drawing up through the front of that leg, active through that standing leg. As we inhale, just pop that right foot off the floor now. If you feel stable and it's in your practice, you're comfortable, hinge forward, lifting that back leg, dialing those toes towards the floor with that foot flexed, just encouraging those hips to stay level. The shoulders are down away from the ears, even if you have them extended out in line with your ears. That soft, soft gaze down towards the floor, directly below your eyesight. And as you're ready, on your next exhale, just stepping that foot gently back, straightening through that front leg. And on an inhale, bring that back foot to meet the front foot. And maybe just shaking out that left leg again. Okay. Whew, mine are a little bit like jelly. Okay, we're going to come down to the floor now. Woohoo, almost standing. So we're just going to widen the feet to about the mat width apart. Okay, so a little bit wider than your hip distance now. Turning the toes out so they're sort of 45 degrees, but like a duck. Okay, there's in the duck pose. But anyway, we're going to inhale, arms up overhead. Hands meet in the middle, and as we exhale, sink down into a nice big squat here. Hands to heart center. So if you can get here, well done, okay? If you can get a little bit further down, go for it. If you can get down so that your elbows are inside your knees, and you bring that bottom down, hallelujah. Okay, wherever you are, if you're halfway, try to bring those elbows inside the knees even. And just breathe here. Feel those hips beginning to open. Shoulders down, away from the ears. The heart is lifted wherever you are. One more breath here. And as you exhale, bring those hands behind you. Bringing the bottom down to the floor. We're coming into a seated position now. Legs out in front of us. So we're going to come into a seated forward fold. So your legs can be as bent as you need to for your hamstrings. You don't want to pull anything, want to strain anything too much. So even if your legs are bent, imagine you've got a wall in front of you. And so flex those feet and push against that wall. So you're active through those legs, even if they're bent. Okay. Sit down through those little sit bones, those two bones underneath your bottom, as we did at the beginning. Grow up through the spine, through the crown of the head. Remember that string. Somebody's just gently encouraging your spine to lengthen. As you inhale, bring both arms up overhead. Shoulders down away from the ears. And as you exhale, lead with the heart. Bring that body forwards, that heart towards the knees. Halfway and inhale, coming back up to seated. As you exhale, lead with that heart again. Remember to stay active through those legs, drawing that lower belly on the exhale. And inhale, coming all the way back up to seated. Exhale, lead with the heart. This time, bringing the hands down, maybe to the outsides of the legs, maybe to the shins. You might be at the toes. If you're at the toes, don't pull those toes backwards. Just rest the hands at the toes, maybe you're at the ankles, wherever you are with the hands. Just as you inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. So you feel that movement all the way from the lower back, all the way up the spine. And as you exhale, allow that torso to relax down towards the legs. Try not to pull with the hands. Your hands are just there because you have hands and they need to rest somewhere. Okay. And just send the breath now into the back of the body, into the back of the legs. This is our final pose before we come to our Heron Pose. One more breath here. And on your next exhale, draw in that lower belly nice and strong. Lift those arms up in line with the ears. And on an inhale, reach through the crown of the head to come all the way back up to seated. Bring those hands behind you with the fingertips pointing towards the feet. And you can bend those knees, feet flat on the floor, and just gently roll out those hips, those knees side to side. It's quite a strong one there for your lower back and for those hamstrings. So just releasing any little tension. Lovely. Okay. So the next pose we're going to do is our Heron Pose. We are there. Right. So I'll show you the variation first, which you can take. Extend that right leg along the mat. With the left leg, bend the knee. With the right hand, take the inner arch of that left foot with your right hand. Thumb on top of your foot. Flex that right foot, so you're pushing again against that wall, that imaginary wall again. Gentle bend in that right knee. As you inhale, grow up through the spine. That left hand can be down on the floor. As you exhale, bring that foot up off the floor. Okay, so that's your first variation that you can try. If you're not there, if that's too much, you can bring the sole of that left foot to either the shin or to the thigh, and just allow that knee to fall out to the side. That's another variation you can try there. Wherever you are, growing up through the spine. Breathing. Okay. If you're here, maybe try extend that leg. Growing up through the spine, don't allow that spine to curl. Active through that right leg still. Couple more breaths wherever you are. Exhale to draw in that lower belly. Release that foot down to the floor and out in front of you. Just wiggle those legs out a little bit. Okay, so those are the variations. We're now going to try the full pose if you want to. If you want to try that variation again, go for it. With the full pose, we want to bend that right knee and place the foot to the outside of the hip. Okay, so it's not directly, you're not sitting on your heel, you're sitting to the side of your heel. Okay, so it's a half hero pose. If you are a yogi and you know yoga poses. Okay, again, we bend that foot up. If you want to take the other variations that we've just done, please do so. We grab onto both sides of the foot this time. As you inhale, extend that leg up. And this is your Heron Pose. Stay here for a couple of breaths. I'll just go back on my side so you can see that a bit better. So you can see now all the all of that hamstring stretching that we were doing earlier, really leading up into this pose here, this peak pose. Lifting through the heart. And exhale, bring that foot down wherever you are and extend it out in front of you. And bring that right foot back out in front of you again. Wiggle those legs. Lovely. So we'll try it on the other side now. So we'll try the variations first. Okay. Inhale to draw that foot, that right foot up towards the body. Long and strong through the spine. Okay. If you want to try and just placing that sole of the foot on the inside of the thigh, allowing that knee to fall out to the side, go there. If you want to have it on the shin and you're there, totally fine as well. If you want to try to lift the leg, remember to place that left hand on the inner arch of that right foot and lift up through the spine as you bring that leg, bent leg up off the floor. Remember to be active through that left leg. If you're here, placing that right hand behind the body and maybe extend that leg. Wherever you are in this pose, breathe, lift that heart, lift through the crown of the head, active through that left foot, that left leg. And when you're ready on an exhale, just bring that foot down to the floor and extend it out in front of you. Wiggle those legs out. Okay, we'll try the full expression again of that pose, that heron pose. So you can either keep with the variation or you can have a go at the full heron. So if you're having a go, bringing that left foot to the outside of the left hip. So you're sitting inside the foot there. Bend the right knee up towards the body, taking hold of both the outside and the inside of the foot with both hands. Lift through the body. Inhale. Exhale, draw that lower belly in. And inhale to lift that leg up, extend that leg long. Reach through the crown of the head, lifting that heart. Imagine, and you can see Ryan doing all those heron dances at the beginning. Imagine you are a beautiful, proud heron now. Feel that lightness, that lifting. And when you're ready on your next exhale, gently lower that foot down to the floor, extending it long, extending that left foot long as well, and just wiggling out those legs. Okay, so that was our heron pose, our first birds of yoga pose. So scooch the bottom up along the mat so you have space to lie down now. Just placing the hands behind you, fingertips pointing towards the toes. We're going to just gently lower the body down to the floor and just begin to cool down to close our practice. So bring the feet towards the bottom, as close towards the bottom as you can get them. Okay, they want to be about hip distance apart, as do your knees. We're going to come up into a bridge. Sort of a half bridge. So as we exhale, draw in that lower belly. As you inhale, push down through the heels and peel the spine up off the floor, raising those hips up. Palms facing down at your sides. As you exhale, gently roll back down through the spine. Inhale, peeling that spine back up off the floor, lifting those hips. Bringing that chest towards the face, but trying not to constrict that throat. Keep that neck long. Exhale, rolling down through the spine. One more time. Inhale, peeling the spine up. Feel that gentle rolling sensation through the spine as we lift through the hips. Push down through the heels. Encourage that chest towards the face. Keep that space between the chin and the chest. So really reach through the crown of the head. We're here just for one more breath. Making sure those knees haven't spread out wide, keeping them hip distance, active through the glutes, pushing down through the heels. And exhale to gently roll down through the spine. Okay. Just a counter to that pose, bringing both the knees in towards the chest. A gentle hug of the knees in, and maybe just rocking side to side, giving that lower back a nice massage on the floor. Beginning to really wind down now. Okay, keeping the right knee in towards the chest. Just extend that left leg long along the floor and draw that right knee even closer in towards the chest. Active through that left foot as if you're pushing against that wall still. And exhale, bring that left knee back in towards the chest. And inhale to extend the right leg long on the floor. Exhale and really draw that left knee in towards the chest. Maybe even towards the armpit if that feels nice in your hips. Active through that right leg. And on your next exhale, bring that right knee up towards the chest. And just a few circles with the knees. Just relieving any remaining niggles or funny feelings in the lower back. Those poses should have felt like they created some nice space there in the back of the body, the back and the back of the legs. Hopefully they did for you. Lovely. We're just going to bring ourselves now, feet flat on the floor, arms out to your sides, and just a gentle twist, bringing those knees down to the left side. Inhale back to center. And bringing them down to the right, nice and gently. Inhale back to center. And again, allowing the knees to fall to the left, maybe sending your gaze over the right fingertips. Feeling that gentle twist in the back. Inhale back to center. And exhale, the knees fall to the right. The gaze is gently over the left fingertips. And inhale back to center. And now just allow the legs to stretch and extend long on the mat. Bringing those hands down to your sides, the palms facing up. Allowing those shoulders to release down away from the ears. Maybe even taking an inhale and rolling them up to your ears. And on an exhale, encouraging them to relax and release down. Nestling those shoulder blades down into the earth. Gentle tuck of the chin. So we're not jutting that chin up, so the neck has lots of space there. And now just bring your awareness back to your natural breath. Allow the feet to fall outwards. Release any tension. Release any tension throughout the body. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale to sigh out through the mouth as you surrender to the support and the nourishing energy of the earth. Feel all the parts of your body that are in connection with the floor, with the earth, wherever you're practicing. With every inhale, we absorb the energy from around the space around us. And with every exhale, we soften. So if any thoughts or memories, sensations, or emotions pop into your mind now, just acknowledge them. And on an exhale, try to breathe them out, breathe them away. Keeping that attention and that awareness on the breath, that gentle inhale, the gentle rise of the chest and the belly. And that falling back towards the spine and the earth on the exhale. And just a few moments to embrace this stillness, embracing the silence, and embracing the peace. Breathing anything that pops into your mind out. Letting your mind become still. Letting the jaw relax and the forehead to be smooth and expressionless. And when you're ready, gently wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes. Say thank you to your body for allowing you to move through those poses today. And to that Shavasana, that relaxation at the end, to just absorb and integrate, assimilate all of the energy that's been moved through your body with those poses. Inhale, maybe bringing the arms up overhead to the floor, stretching through the fingertips down to the toes. And maybe bringing the body in small, the knees in towards the chest, making that body small. And then wherever you are, just gently rolling onto your left side, knees in towards the chest, and the hands come together in the fetal position. So as we move from our corpse pose into this fetal position, we remember that each moment is a chance to be reborn, to look at life with a new perspective, and to begin again with new patterns, releasing the old, to make space for you're new, for what serves you better on your path. Take a nice deep inhale here. Exhale, pressing that top palm, that right hand into the floor, bringing yourself gently in your own time to a comfortable seat. Rooting down through the sit bones, reaching up one last time through the crown of the head. Take an inhale, arms up overhead. Hands meet in the middle, and as we exhale, bring the hands down so the thumbs rest at the third eye center between the eyebrows. And here, we just ask for clarity of thought as we move through the rest of our day. Take an inhale. Exhale, bringing the thumbs to the throat and the fingertips to the lips, where we just ask for the ability to speak kind words to ourselves and to others. Take an inhale. As we exhale, send the thumbs down to the heart center. Shoulders relax down away from the ears, and here at our heart space, we just remember our innate ability to approach ourselves and others with understanding, with compassion, and with love. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, I invite you to say namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you very much. I encourage you to drink a nice big glass of water now. Maybe just take a few moments just for a little bit more stillness before you on to the next thing. And yeah, I hope you feel a little bit more ease in your body, a little bit more space, so you can move through the rest of your day or your evening with a little bit more, feeling a little bit more centered, a little bit more grounded. Okay, over back to you, Lisa.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Alex. I feel like relaxed and energized at the same time. I really, really enjoyed it.
Awesome.
Super.
Good. I'm glad.
It's really super. Yeah. If you guys liked it, yeah, give us a comment in the chat. And if you don't mind, we're going to send you a little short survey after this to just ask, what you thought of the class. How often would you like to do a class like this? What would be the best time of day, best day of the week, things like that. So we will follow up with all of you who joined us. Thank you so much for being with us. And thanks again, Ryan, for your little Heron intro too. It just brought it all together. It was really an amazing class.
Hey, I hope everybody sees a heron today. Say hi to the herons for me, Come on, they're our friends.
Yeah, and an added bonus was hearing all the birds all around you. I can hear
Yeah. We've got so many hummingbirds in this tree. We've got this beautiful tree here you can see in the background with those pink flowers. And we have so many hummingbirds. They're loving it.
Antillean cresteds and green-throated caribs coming to the nectar all the time, feeding. It's beautiful. Hey, nature's beautiful. We're on a beautiful planet.
Yeah,
let's enjoy it.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we're going to sign off, but thanks again, everybody, for joining us, and we'll be in touch. Yeah. Have a great day.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.